It's no secret that when wartime begins, the consequences for everyone are often severe. This could be destruction and even death, but there's one effect of war that is never really talked about, ironically. Maybe that's because we can't. The most common way to move forward with war, whether that be strikes or toppling a whole country, is to suppress dissenting opinions that matter. It's no secret that during times such as now, countries become more authoritarian, like when Abraham Lincoln suspended habeas corpus during the Civil War. But the most common form of suppression is the most detrimental to democracy, and that's freedom of speech. It's the first one to go, yet the most important. The God given right to say what you believe as an American cannot and should never be taken away. Republicans have always been the ones advocating for free speech and against censorship. Meanwhile, liberal Dems preach political correctness, an attempt to instill it into kids at a very young age. They teach them propagandized history and destroy their ability to critically think. How will kids in the coming generations understand the world and form their own opinions to speak on if they don't know what truly happened? And then they just accept what they are told as fact. Instead, America turns into lemmings, leading them to be controlled and powerless. But of course, that's the goal. That's why Charlie Kirk was murdered. He went to college campuses to talk to new voting age students, expressing his voice and views that mainly aligned with his faith in Jesus, and he was killed over that. Now that the neoconservatives got what they wanted, which was for the United States to join Israel's war, they show their true uniparty, hiding under the surface. They impose censorship over the dissenting voices and views that are not aligned with their warmongering policies. Just this past week, Tucker Carlson reported a possible CIA and Department of Justice prosecution for having contact with Iran leaders prior to the conflict starting. But the truth is that this is an effort to undertake Tucker and his show because he vocally disagrees with the administration, neocons, but more importantly, Israel. He openly criticizes them. So next time Ben Shapiro talks about being the leading man for freedom of speech, look at what he follows it up with. And that's an attack on anyone who does not bow to his country. Another prime example that required a bit of digging and close reading takes us back a couple months ago when Elon Musk's X office in France was raided and his Grok AI condemned for reportedly generating sexualized images of unconsenting people. At least that's what they said. Looking at this article by Gizmodo, it goes to describe that the raid is a part of an investigation that started as suspected manipulation of X's recommended algorithm in illegal data extraction. However, it's then expanded to include an examination on other violations, such as the sexually explicit content of minors and use of sexual deepfakes that could violate one's rights. But then at the bottom, they sneak a part in about the circulation of Holocaust denial content. Newsflash, you can deny the Holocaust if you want to. You can say whatever you want. The social platform bought by Elon to save and promote free speech denied the claims and allegations. Several other articles go on to include the famous anti-Semitism proclamation as well. So what started out as illegal data extraction slowly morphed into striving to censor others because they denied something that happened 80 years ago. This forces us to pose the question: was this ever really about sexual content or data extraction? We aren't saying that the Holocaust didn't happen or that it was a positive thing at all. Genocide's horrible in all scenarios. We are saying that people can say whatever they want about it. On a more recent note, the University of Florida just banned or suspended the UF College Republicans Club due to their allegedly being an anti-Semitic member or two. The group is suing the president of the university and are asking a judge to stop the enforcement of the school's decision, all because of an alleged anti-Semitic gesture. And if you really want to open to the clear pattern that is happening here, the Department of Justice just now filed a lawsuit this week against Harvard University for failing to adequately protect Jewish and Israeli students from harassment following the October 7th attacks almost 3 years ago. The Trump administration accused the school of violating Title VI of the Civil Rights Act. So why now? Well, like we said, free speech always gets cracked down on during a war of any kind, especially when it goes critically against our biggest ally. Why this is so frustrating is because the administration we voted for fought hard for freedom of speech. But now that Israel's involved, that all turns to dust. The neocons have a way too much of the public's ear, and they spew their warmongering agenda upon Americans. How are Americans supposed to form their own opinions when all they hear are the same views? Oh, we must attack Iran. They cannot have a nuclear bomb. Yeah, that's all the things we've heard. But it's now apparent that they were nowhere close to getting a nuclear bomb and reportedly have no intention of getting one. But all the neoconservatives are just liberals with guns, making them much more dangerous. The uniparty is a real thing, but until the American people hear the truth and fight for their God-given right to say what they think, then our country will continue to spiral into the unknown, continuing to be used and wrung out for everything that we have.